All right, everybody, here we go. We're gonna start making the formulas project. My audio might be a little different because I'm using headphones instead of my nice mic, but let's get going. So here's the instructions. The main thing we're gonna do first is just create a new replit. We're gonna choose Python. We're gonna make it public so we can turn it in. And up here, I'm gonna call it my formula project. I'm gonna say 2020 in case I got another one already. All right, so up it comes. I'm only going to use one file, so I might as well just get rid of that for now, just scoop it over. So I just got code and what shows up. First thing I'm going to do is just kind of outline my project. So I'm going to do start a main program loop here. And so we'll go, whoops. And so we'll go down here, we'll say while true, okay? And then I'm going to print the menu. All right, and so I'm going to go, and by the way, when it does autocomplete, if I just hit enter, it changes. I can control Z to unchange it. But if you instead you don't want the autocomplete, just hit escape and it doesn't autocomplete, and then enter works. So I'm going to print, and now I want to print multiple lines rather than using a bunch of separate statements. So I'm going to use 3 quotes, okay, and then 3 quotes to end it. And now as I put the menu in here, if I do it like this, 0 is quit, and then 1 is, I don't know, first program. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. And then I'm going to just paste a bunch of those. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I can change them. Now, if I do this and run it, I'm just going to really quickly put an input down here. So temp equals input, just so it doesn't loop smashing this over and over. Okay, so now while I run this, and it's just waiting for an input. So when I do something, it goes again. What I wanted to show you is that it's indented over. See how my typing in A is here and these are indented? It's because the multi-line quote reads all of the white space. So this tab here shows up. So if you don't want that, I could just take this and tab it backwards. I kind of like it with the tab. So that's fine with me. All right, so I don't know what my first and second program are, and so on. Let's go second, third. We'll figure out what they actually are later. Okay, so there we go. I've got all of my programs set up. So now I need to ask the user to choose in option. And so I'm going to say down here, let's just call it choice or selection equals input. And let's just say, please choose an option from the menu, right? Now this is going to be a string. So you got a couple options down here. So you go like, if they chose to quit, right? That's the easiest one. That's just if choice equals 0, then break out of the loop. And now before you break, maybe you want to say something like goodbye, right? It's been fun, sayonara. Now here's the problem though. This isn't going to work, right? So if I run this, I go, okay, so which one should I choose? I'm going to choose 0 to quit. And it didn't work. 0, I'm trying to quit. Now the reason it's not quitting is because when you get an input, it's a string and this is an integer. So you got 2 options. You could quote around 0, or we could turn their input into an integer. Either one. I'm going to go with this, okay, just so we're comparing integers, although actually safer is probably comparing it to a string. That way, because if they enter something like a W and you turn it into an integer, it'll crash your program. So actually, let's go this way. I said I'd go the other way, but let's do it this way. All right, so if they chose to quit, boom, quit. Now I'm going to say, instead of if, I'm going to go elif. That way only one of these for sure happens, because otherwise maybe they'll choose option 1 and then somehow it would lead them to both do option 1 and option 2, and we could get to that scenario later. But I'm just going to do elif. So that way, no matter what, they get one menu option and then they go back to the top of the loop after. So I'm going to say elif choice equals 1. Okay, and then I'm just going to put pass in here. Now, if I don't put anything in there, and then I go down here and write elif choice equals 2, whoops, equals 2, I get this error. And this error is saying like it expected something indented, right? Like after this colon, there has to be some code in here. Now you could just put a print statement. Pass does nothing, but it is a placeholder, so it won't cause an error. So I'm just going to do that for now. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. So I'm going to say, okay, let's do that again. We can do one more, and we'll get rid of that one. Okay, so now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so they choose to either quit or they choose one of the menu options, and else would be, hashtag, they enter an invalid menu choice, right? So if they didn't choose 0, 1, 2, 3, or 5, then they chose something invalid. And so down here we would just print a message like that is not a valid choice. Okay, and then on a separate line, I'll print please enter an integer 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Now I forgot 0, so let's go back and enter 0. Okay, so please enter one of these integers, right? And I could even, let's even print that on a separate line. So let's end that quote. Let's print, and then we'll start this, right? Maybe we even want to like tab over. That's the \T. We'll tab it over. So let's see what this looks like right now. Let's say 6. Ooh, that's not a valid choice. Oh, I did the wrong. That's not a backslash. That's a backslash. And notice it changes color when I use the correct slash. And I'm going to do this again. Okay, let's say 6. Oh, that's not a valid choice. Please select one of these integers. Great. And then the menu comes up again. Now I'm going to clean a few things up here, and then we'll fill these in the next video. So right now we've got the main menu loop running. We've got the menu printing. We're asking for a choice, and then we've got it set up that either they choose to quit or they enter an invalid choice. And then this is where we'll fill in later with just all the different formulas, and then we'll have to add inner loops. All right, so let's see, that all looks good. I'm just going to add one extra thing. I don't like how this looks right now. What I'm going to do instead is, where are we going to do it? Okay, yeah, I'm going to put it right here. So I'm going to import two things. I'm going to import Replit, okay? And I'm also going to import time, okay? I just think this will clean up our program a little bit. And so the reason for this is right here before we print the menu, I'm going to clear the screen of old junk before printing the menu, okay? And the way you do that is from the Replit library, you use the clear function. Okay, so that clears this console window so we don't have the top junk. All we see is the new menu. But I want to show this message before I clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go replit.clear, and then down here I'm going to say time.sleep for, I don't know, 2 seconds, just so they can read that message. Let's even say 3 seconds. Okay, let's see how this looks. So now, oh, it's got to import the module, so it'll take a second. This only happens, or should only happen the first time when you import modules, and then after that it should go much quicker. Okay, so there's the menu. I'm going to choose 6. Ooh, that's not valid. Please select one of these, and boom, there comes the menu. So just clearing the screen, I think, makes it a lot cleaner. So now if I choose 1, right, all that's going to happen is pass, nothing, and then the loop's going to run again. So if I choose 1, 1, right, it clears and it goes back to the menu. Boom, there we go, great. Well, that's weird that I could scroll up to what was going on before. Huh, interesting. Anyways, there we go. So this is the first video. We've set everything up, but we haven't actually put any formulas in here or done the inner loops yet, but we're using good comments in our code. All right, hope you enjoyed that first video.